It
Yeah.
seemed Eric was saying so many people comment to him all the time. I love Deconstruction. Like they'll pop up in his Twitter feed or Instagram, just
Yeah.
anywhere they can.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. Every once in a while, I'm still in Jane's Addiction. So we'll be on tour and people will come up after shows and they'll have a stack of, CD sleeves to sign and I'll be signing them. I'm going through them and flipping them over. And then every once in a while, there'll be a Deconstruction. I'll be like, dude, you know this? And they're like, yeah, it's the greatest. I love that. I'm like, fuck yeah. And I'll sign it. But, every once in a while when I get the Deconstruction thing, I'm like, okay, this person is either really cool or I need to file a restraining order.
Put them on the list.
You know what I mean? Like they know way too much. Like that's scary. But
Mhm.
most of the time it's there. It's always really the kind of like just like the muso junkies that have it. Like the guys that would spend hours flipping through records in getting putting them on and listening to them and like this one I like, I'm gonna take this. It's those people, the audiophiles that really seem to love it.
Oh yeah, yeah. The guys who go deep, the deep dives,
Yeah,
flipping like gophers through the
that's
piles
what
of
I'm
records.
saying. Like you got that version of Deconstruction, it's the Japanese import that's the one. Like those guys.
Oh yeah, that's the next level, different
Yeah,
species.
yeah,
That's cool because I mean I don't play guitar. I play some maybe 5 chords and I just can't get my bar chords right. And but I can hear and kind of identify what it is I like. And I've been listening to Jane since 1989. I remember the first time I heard Triple X, and the music just grabbed me instantly. It just spoke to me. Everything about it. It colored my youth in a good way. It still has that power for me. And so of course when Deconstruct came out, I was like, give me more. Like what are Dave and Eric doing?
Okay, so let me ask you as a listener, what was your first instinct? What was your first response when you heard that?
When I heard Deconstruction,
Yeah.
I remember listening to it in this ugly ass apartment in Tucson that was made of cinder blocks, just ugly shithole college apartment. And the beginning of LA song played, it was slow. There was a drum machine. I remember twinkling guitar. I was like, oh, that sounds like Dave's guitar. And then dun, 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 it just totally surprised me. I like that. I was like, okay, let me see where this is going. And it worked. It totally worked for me. Whereas my wife, who just left for work, she listened to that song and she would just, I don't know, a couple months ago, and she's like, oh, this is a good song. And then the hard guitar came in, the riffs, and she was like, this isn't working for me. And she loves Jane's and she loves her playing. But for me as a listener, it
Yeah.
all worked. And Iris just stuck with me. Kilo just spoke to me for some reason. And all the juxtapositions and the jarring changes and stuff, you guys made it work.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And
I always wondered what a Jane's fan thought when they put that record on, because I never knew, and like there was no way to check. There was no posts or comments. You know what I mean? We didn't even know. Like we had no way of knowing whether anybody liked it or not. It's the weirdest to think back on that time and just go like, like I can't imagine telling my godson, yeah, there were no comments back then. He'll be like, what? How did you know if somebody liked it? It's a weird thing. So we didn't know. I mean, I never knew. I mean, we had a small circle of friends. Some of them liked it, some of them didn't. And certain friends of mine loved it. Certain friends of mine did not love it. And they were very vocal about it, So it was what it did. What I think it just, what's the best way to put it? It took the Jane's fans that liked it, it put them in an elite club, is the way I put it. I don't look at it as we lost a lot of listeners. What I look at it is we gained an elite following. It's just the perspective shift, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think I always wondered if my fellow Jane's fans listened to that expecting something from their Jane's experience.
I think they expected Mountain Song with a different vocalist, is what I think. I think they expected Had a Dad with a different vocalist. That's what they wanted. And so we didn't do that. And I think the Jane's Addiction writing had shifted a lot over the years. And if you get to Ritual, you can hear where some of the musical explorations are coming from between me and Eric. And I think that actually the Deconstruction record is a nice handoff to where we were headed anyway. We were trying to get away from bass guitar unison riff rock, which was a lot of early Jane's Addiction. You know, Mountain Song is bass guitar riff rock. Ain't No Right, bass guitar riff rock. Had It At, bass guitar riff rock. All those songs, we were kind of playing the same thing, and we wanted to experiment with, you play that, I'll play this, and it'll make something else.
And the combination will create a whole different sound.
A third thing that neither one of us could do on our own. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because some of the fans I talked to, one of the things they love about Deconstruction is the interplay between you and Eric. You know, the way your instruments play together. For them was like what Jane's sounded like, or maybe what they liked about it, and so they got that in Deconstruction too, and they liked that, even though the singing was different.
Yes, yes. And then I think that, you know, I think that maybe we scooped up some fans that were of that Lou Reed, Ian Curtis world, you know what I mean? And then and I think ultimately, I brought up Ian Curtis and my love of Joy Division is one of the ways that I saw my way around to Eric singing Working for Me, but then also my love of Lou Reed and Iggy Pop, and like, okay, here are three iconic, amazing vocalists, lyricists, frontmen that aren't pitch perfect, and it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, because what they're saying is what matters, and their delivery is what matters. And I think Eric delivered.